Chapter 35. Adam awoke and lifted his head away from the pillow. A hand reached out of that pillow, almost grabbing his face. He yelped, and the hand retreated back into the pillow. He looked around, his heart racing, and noticed he was in the living room. He lay upon the couch, in front of the TV, which was playing Scrooged. His forehead suddenly hurt, and he placed a palm against it. He found a bandage there. It all came back to him then. He'd been playing Steal the Bacon with his friends when he'd accidentally been kicked in the head. Then came a random assortment of images of him in a hospital, a doctor talking to him. His mom and dad stood behind the doctor, looking worried. He heard something coming from the windows. It was a soft, pleasant sound. He got up and looked through the curtain to see snow falling. From the look of the front yard, it had been falling for a while. The moon reflected off it. The moon. How long had he been out? "Hey, son," a voice said from the den to his left. "You feeling okay?" Adam stepped down into the den, where Dad sat in his recliner. Beetlejuice, Dad's favorite movie, played on a little TV that sat high on a dresser in the corner. "Yeah," Adam finally said. "I feel better." Dad patted his lap. "Come here, bud." The nearly 40 part of Adam hadn't sat on anyone's lap since he was a kid, but his 8-year-old brain-kicked side reminded him he was a kid, and that it was okay to act like it. He crawled onto his father's lap, and Dad covered them with a blanket. They watched the movie together for a while. Adam remembered seeing Beetlejuice for the first time in this very den, but it had been under better circumstances. Dad had rented it from Movie Gallery. It was like Blockbuster, except much closer to the house, and the whole family sat on the floor, staring up at the TV and eating popcorn. "You've been in and out of it all day," Dad said quietly. The sound of his voice startled Adam, who had started dozing again. "Doctor said you don't have a concussion, so it's okay to sleep. Do you feel nauseous at all?" "Nauseated," Adam corrected, then cursed himself. That was something adult Adam would say. "I mean, I feel pukey." He rolled his eyes at the way he just kiddied it up. But in truth, he did feel like he would throw up any second. The two continued to watch as Beetlejuice wreaked havoc on the poor Maitlands. Dad laughed when the ghost with the most uttered the F word. "How is this PG?" he asked, and Adam found himself unexpectedly throwing up on his own chest. "It's okay," Dad said as he patted his son's back and then cleaned up the mess. Daddy, can I ask you a question?" He was really laying it on thick now. "Sure, bud." "Who's Cynthia?" Adam heard his father gasp slightly. "Did you hear that at the barber's?" "Yes." "She's a friend." Adam was getting fed up with the pretense. He decided to go all in. "Are you cheating on Mommy?" He didn't care how old he sounded. He knew his father would forget this conversation in a few minutes. A silent moment passed. The snow was falling hard now, beating against the window so loud that it almost overpowered the movie. "It's more complicated than that," Dad finally said. "How so?" That may have been pushing it, because Dad stared at him then. Adam still didn't care. "Your mother and I love each other very much, but sometimes it's hard to be with the same person every single day. Say, for example, if you ate those rally fries every day. I know you love them, but if you ate them every day, you would get sick of them." "You're comparing Mom to seasoned fries?" "When did you get so smart? I think you're watching too much Sesame Street." Dad laughed, but Adam didn't. "What about the drugs?" Adam asked. Dad stopped laughing. "What drugs?" "The drugs you and Uncle Billy did at the beach house last year. I heard you two through the vents. Was it cocaine?" "I am not talking to my 8-year-old son about adultery and cocaine. It's not the 80s anymore." He chuckled at his own joke, then grew serious. Now go to your room. I don't want to look at you anymore." Adam didn't argue. He got up and walked the long hallway to his room. His parents' bedroom door was closed, and he assumed his mom was asleep, or at least trying to. He closed his door and lay on his bed. Morris joined him, and they watched switching channels in the dark as the snow continued to fall. Christopher Reeve was being tackled by a sassy security guard. Adam loved this movie, so he continued to watch. "I wonder if Mom knows," Adam mused to the yellow feline. "I shouldn't have confronted Dad like that. I didn't like arguing with him." He lay on his side, Morris laying in front of him. He lightly scratched the cat's furry back. Morris farted in gratitude. "Oh my God!" The smell wafted into his nostrils. "I remember this the first time you did it. I didn't like it then either."